Hello everyone and welcome back to Color Scholar. Today we will learn about the 3D features of Photoshop to create amazing and realistic effects in no time. But make sure to check if your system meets the minimum requirement to run 3D, and you can do that by going to Adobe's official website. Today I'm going to use Photoshop version 2020 to create this amazing 3D effect. So let's get started. So here in Photoshop, the first thing we need to do is create a new document of width 1920 by height 1080, and the resolution will be 150 ppi. Then we need to fill in this document with gray color. Go to edit, fill and contents 50% gray, click OK. Then we need to select the text tool and just click right here, bring the text in the middle. I'm going to write in welcome. I'm using Century Gothic, font size of 45 points, and the color is CA and click OK. Now we're going to right click over here and select convert to shape. I'm going to name it as base text. Now duplicate this layer and name it outer lines. Select the direct selection tool and go to options bar. In fill, make sure the fill is none. In stroke, keep the color as 959595 and press OK. Then go to stroke options and in align, select center. And that's it. Now again create another duplicate copy of this outer lines. Let's name it dotted lines and go to stroke, change the color of the stroke to 313131, press OK. Go to stroke options and click on more options. Align is inside, caps is round. Click on this dash line, dash value is 0 and the gap will be 25. OK. This will create simple dotted lines with large gaps in between them. You can experiment with different values as well. Next, make a new layer and name it path. In this layer, we will mimic the wires going through the text. Select the pen tool by going right here, or you can press P on the keyboard and make a path like this. Now select your brush tool. Bring about your brush settings by pressing F5 on the keyboard, or you can go to Windows and select brush settings. Select the hard brush tool. Size is 10 and spacing will be 1%. Now select your pen tool again and right click on the path. Select stroke path. Tool is brush. OK. To remove the work path, press enter. It will be removed. Hold your control on the keyboard and click on the thumbnail of the path to make a selection. Go to Paths panel, top right corner, select Make Work Path. Tolerance is 1 and OK. Now go back to Layers panel, hide the path by pressing this eye icon so that only the work path is seen. Now inspect if there are any sharp edges. If there are, then you need to take care of them. And if it's alright, then the first part of our project is complete. With the path layer selected, go to 3D, new 3D extrusion from selected path. Repeat the same for all the shape layers. Go to layers, just collapse it. Let's select dotted lines, 3D, extrude from selected path. And you can know your layer is 3D since you can see its sign on the bottom right corner of a 3D. So the layer is 3D. When you are working in 3D in Photoshop, make sure you have properties and 3D panel opened. If not, go to Windows and here you can select 3D as well as properties panel. Go to layers, select the path and go to 3D. And in properties under shape preset, select pillow inflate. Now click on the cap icon, which is this, if you can see, the third one, and in inflate section make the angle 90 degrees and strength is 20%. Now go to layers again, select dotted lines, and in properties for extrusion depth keep the value of 50. For outer lines the extrusion value will be 20. And for base text 30. With the base text layer selected, click on cap again. Under bevel, keep the width at 20%, and for contour select cone inverted. You can see right here, cone inverted. Select the background layer, make a duplicate copy, Ctrl+J, bring the copy to the top of the layers. Now go to 3D, new mesh from layer and postcard. Collapse it. Now the background copy is also 3D, and you can know that by looking at this icon. Now we need to arrange these layers in order. The first will be background copy, the second I'm going to keep base text layer, the third will be path, the fourth will be outer lines, and the fifth will be dotted lines. So let's select all these by pressing Shift on the keyboard. Let's keep them in a group. Let's duplicate the group. Just name it as backup in case we need to use them again. Open this group, select all of them and bring them out of the group, because we don't need group for these. Now select the dotted lines and press Shift and click on the background copy. This will select all of your layers. Go to 3D and merge layers. Now this is the 3D window that we can work in Photoshop. There are some options that we can use to toggle or navigate in this 3D window. With this orbit, we can orbit the 3D camera. We can orbit like the word says. We can move our camera and see whatever is here or there. The second one will rotate. The third one, we can move it around the canvas where we want to keep it. The fourth one will pan across, and the fifth one is for zoom. It will zoom in and zoom out. Now you can see our text is above our background, so we need to bring this text right over here. So at first it was like this, and I used my zoom tool to zoom out so that I can see my 3D elements. First, let's bring this background above our ground plane view, and we can do that by clicking the orbit, the camera icon. Click once, you'll get this axis. The green, if you push up, it will bring up. If you bring down, it will bring down. The red one, if you drag it to the right, it will move right, and left vice versa. Similarly, the blue one, it will bring forward and backward. So let's bring it above the grid like so. Now we need to bring the text right over here. So for that, go to 3D layer, go top. Let's collapse everything so that our panel can contain more information. Now one by one select dotted, outer lines, path and base text. Don't select the background copy mesh. And using this axis, you can just bring them right over here. And if you want to move the camera again, don't just start moving it, because we have the 3D element selected. Select the current view right here, then you can move. the camera, and you can see I think it's okay. It has properly stayed right here. You can even zoom in to see how it looks. It's alright. The more you use these tools, the more familiar you'll become with them. So the only advice is keep on using. And right here, these are the same icons right over here, and if you right click on it and select default, this was the view that we got. And now I'm going to zoom it out a little bit. I'll use this one to bring it to the center. Now I'll zoom in. Now we need to decide which camera angle we want our text to display in our final effect. So let's try it about this way. It seems fine. Okay, now we need to fill the canvas with this. So let's use some of these tools that we've got. You can use this to bring it right over here so that it covers the most part. How much? This yellow cube, if you select the yellow cube and drag it down, it will uniformly decrease the size or increase the size. Okay, so let's decrease the size a little bit, and using this, let's bring it right over here, I think. Okay, now select scene. That's much better. And when you are satisfied with the angle, what you can do is go to current view, and in view go to save, and you can save your camera angle. I'm going to name it final view and press OK. So now whenever I want to do some edits and I change the angle, like you can see here, I've changed the angle, and if I just click on this final view right here, my angle will be restored. Let's check the wire if it is on the wire. Now we're going to arrange our 3D elements. For that, select scene in this 3D panel, then go to preset in properties and select hidden wireframe. And now here, with orbit the camera selected, I'm going to move it a little bit, and I'm going to arrange my items or 3D elements. So now the placements are ready. I'm going to the view, I'm going to select scene and I'm going to make it default. Now we need to add materials to our elements. So let's start with base text. Select base text in your 3D layer and right click on its arrow. The icons right here, they indicate the material for that element. So we're going to select all these items with the same icon and go right here besides the base color. No, left click here or just click with the mouse and select remove texture. Now go right over here and select this white globe. Now we will change some settings right here. You can follow along. Glow will be 11. You need to make sure that all the materials are selected. Metallic will be 50. Roughness is 12. Height is 10. Opacity is 100. Refraction is maximum. And density is also maximum. That's it. Now select path. These are the wires. Follow the same steps. Select all the materials. See the icons similarity. Go right here and select remove texture. Go down here and you can select any of the textures. It doesn't matter. Let's select this golden and change the setting like before. Glow is 24%. Roughness will be 50. Height will be 22. Opacity is 100. Refraction is 1.101. Density and translucence will be 00 respectively. The path is done. Now let's select outer lines. The glow will be 14. Metallic 26. Roughness 23. Height will be 5. Opacity. Refraction is 1.355 and density and translucence are 0. Similarly, dotted lines. Let's select glow is 19. Metallic is 0. Roughness is 29. Height is 19. Opacity is 100. Refraction is 1.797. Density is 14 and translucence is 0. The effect is coming to life slowly. Now select the background copy mesh. Background copy. Go over here. And instead of removing texture, we are going to edit texture. The texture background is contained in this scene in multiple places. Changes to this text will appear in all places. Okay. Now this is where the texture for background is. So go to File, place Embed, Color Scholar, Wall Texture. Fill the canvas with the background. bring label by pressing Ctrl+L, or you can go to image adjustment and labels, and let's play with the midtones. Let's make it darker, not too much. And we can see how the background looks by going to our original document, and it will be auto-populated. So it's looking good. Let's blur it out a little bit, 0.7%, not too much. That's okay. So next we will add some lights to our 3D elements. Whenever you walk on 3D mode, infinite light comes on automatically, and if you click on infinite light, you can see this blob projecting, and you can just click on this handle and decide where you want your light falling on your text. You can increase or decrease the softness of the shadow from here. Let's keep the shadow at about 25%. You can increase or decrease the intensity of the light as well. You can make it a little lighter. Let's keep it at 50%. How does it look? 50% is dark. Let's keep it at 80%. Yeah, it looks nice. Now we're going to add in some extra lights, and you can do that by going down below and clicking on this bulb icon and select new point light. So this is point light that has auto-populated, or that has come after we have selected it, and similar to the 3D elements, we can work with it by using this axis and check off the shadow and intensity. Let's keep it at 25%, and we can select the color as well. Let's give it a little yellow color. See how it looks. Let's put another one. Similarly, just drag out the arrows of the axis and it will move. We will do the same thing. Shadow is off, and let's keep it at 25%. And this is okay. Let's zoom it out a little bit more. So the effect is ready. The final step is to render it, and the rendering takes a lot of time in Photoshop, so I'm going to show you one thing. Go to edit, in preference select 3D, and see what is the value of your ray tracer. Normally 4 to 6 is okay, but if you keep a higher value, the quality will be higher, but the time it takes to render such quality will also be more. So the value between 4 and 6 is okay. I'm going to keep it at 6. So make sure before you start rendering, and after everything is done, now we can click on this render or go to 3D and render 3D layer. Just click on it and it will show the icon right here. Render process can be found, and it will show us the time it will take to render this element. I'm going to speed up the rendering process, and I'll be back when the rendering is complete. So this is the result after rendering 100%. Now go back to layers panel and make a duplicate copy of this 3D layer by pressing Ctrl plus J. Hide the layer below, select the upper layer and rasterize 3D. Let's make it smart object as well. Now create curves and create an S curve. And bring about levels, clip it and decrease the right to max. Now select your brush tool with black color and soft round brush. Just click once to give it a bit of vignette. Now we can add one more color lookup, AG Ambers. It is harsh. Decrease the opacity to about 15% and that's it. So this is how you can use 3D to create such effects. That's all for today. I hope you learned something new, and if you did, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching. I hope to see you back for some more. See you next time on Color Scholar.